Village life is changing, and shops, post offices, pubs and other village services are closing. The challenges this presents can be heightened in some parts of the rural northwest by greater distances between villages, the widely dispersed population, and more limited access to public transport. Increasingly, rural communities are stepping up to the mark to overcome these challenges by establishing community-owned services using social enterprise models, businesses with a social purpose. Strengthening rural communities across the Northwest was designed to help communities to do just this, improve rural services through community-led initiatives. Key to gaining funding was their ability to demonstrate that their proposals and the services were sustainable beyond the life of the programme. This short film features just 5 of these initiatives.
Everyone said, you don't see people about anymore. No one leaves the house. You don't see people because they have no reason to leave the house. And when the shop opened, the first thing that people said, everyone said it, oh, well, you see people about again.
Well, originally the village had a series of shops, but ultimately they all closed. A group of very determined ladies decided that we couldn't do without a shop, and consequently, eventually this shop opened.
Nenthead is one of 7 community-owned shops in the northwest and one of over 180 countrywide. Being community-owned means that it was opened as a result of collective activity within the community and required a lot of community engagement, consultation and fundraising.
Lots of people around here are shareholders. They've bought shares when we're trying to get the whole project off the ground. And despite its delays and ups and downs, they still kept buying shares and kept hold of their shares because everyone really wanted it. Everyone realised how important it was.
As experience has shown, having the wider community involved in its ownership, management and day-to-day running means residents take an interest in it. It responds to local needs. It's used more. It becomes profitable and more likely to remain open for future generations. But best of all, the shop is fun and they enjoy it.
People are out and about and talking to each other again, and it's certainly made a whole lot of difference to a whole lot of lives.
Social enterprise isn't just about shops or retail. The programme has supported a wide range of community enterprises which respond to local needs and deliver a wide range of benefits.
The swimming pool has been established since 1964 as a community enterprise, though it's never been called that before. It's just a thing that's been run by volunteers at the bottom of the village since it was physically built by the villagers. The health and safety aspects have come far more predominant in how you organise and manage a pool like this. You now have to provide a qualified lifeguard.
The programme provides funding for a full-time lifeguard and training of young people to become lifeguards. The intention is that these newly qualified lifeguards will volunteer at Lazenby in future seasons and in turn train the next generation of young people.
The enthusiasm is great and it's just what we need.
One hand each side of him for turning around.
My daughter took part in the life-saving, training, and she's now able to be a lifeguard here at the pool. And she has found it very, very rewarding. And obviously, from her personal point of view, it also is good for her CV in that wherever she goes now, she has this nationally recognised qualification, which she'll take with her forever.
Like all organisations supported, Alston Moor Business Association convinced the programme that their project had come from the community, that there was an underlying need or a market for what they were proposing, and that it would be able to continue following the injection of financial support.
There's a lot of hotels, there's a lot of pubs, there's a lot of cafes, restaurants, that kind of thing. There's this bakery. There's an awful lot of waste produced, compostable waste, which we think can be put to good use without actually taking it off Alston Moor.
In this case, a small group of local businesses approached and gained the full support of Alston Moor Business Association to establish a community-owned composting facility for the town. This will treat everything from cooked and uncooked meat to grass cuttings. Local businesses will benefit from not having to pay for waste disposal. Local people will benefit from training and volunteer opportunities created to manage the site. And profits from the sale of the compost will be returned to community groups in the town.
I believe the composting scheme will work because of the strength of cooperative working in Alston, the fact that a number of businesses have come together to sort out a common problem and at the same time look at other ways of collaboration. It's the start of something much bigger, I think.
People do talk to each other and help each other, so it makes it much easier to go to the business community with a project and say, how can we get it done? Because people are used to working together already.
There's no telling where it can go. We could start recycling plastics, paper, anything we like. Once we've got the facility up and running, that's the start, not the end.
It's not always possible or appropriate for some community-led initiatives to generate income, and some often rely on volunteer input or grant or gift support.
We provide community music therapy throughout the north of England to people with special needs, from tiny babies aged 6 months with profound disabilities to elderly people with dementia, and we find that our music is transformative and it provides a means of communication when all other strategies have failed.
Music has no boundaries and it appeals to all races and all disabled people. Do so much for them.
They gave us a grant of £10,000, which has gone towards delivering 48 sessions throughout 10 venues in rural Cumbria. And it has also paid for our coordinator in the office to bring everything together in all the projects.
Sunbeams will be working with a support provider to develop new and sustainable income streams and reduce dependency on grants. This will enable Annie and her team to focus on delivering their project where it's needed and ensure that the Trust is fully resourced to continue into the future.
Initially it was set up with just 7 adults with learning difficulties, and now today we've got nearly 50 on the books, but we've got 2 sites. And the purpose is to give training, life chances and employment really for those adults. And in the process we've got this acre site here. We grow fruit and vegetables, plants, and we sell those both here on site and off site on the mobile shop and at the farmers market.
That's lovely, thank you, John.
Funding has enabled local food grown at Walton Lee to be delivered to surrounding rural communities that lack access to village shops or food stores.
One lady said to me a few weeks ago, it was like a friend coming, you know, when we arrive with the mobile shop, and she never knows what we're going to have, so that's quite nice. Money has funded Karen's post as food development worker for a 12-month initial period, and also towards running costs for the van, and also towards some of the stock, because what's been really good about this project is, as well as our own produce here, we've been able to get in other local produce, which has helped support other local businesses. And we clearly wouldn't have been able to do it without the funding.
While the range of enterprises has varied from village to village, these projects show that community-run ventures often succeed where other models fail, and they bring the benefits of social cohesion and sustainability. As a result of this programme, over 50 social enterprises and community-led initiatives have been supported, resulting in long-term sustainable improvements in service provision for rural communities in the North West.